glass blowing, I didn't even think of glass blowing. Only by accident did I come with glass blower. And here's how I started out. At 9 years old, I was really singing, dancing, acting, entertaining, and my parents bought me this instrument. I played the instrument and sang, and I I did this for 82 years. I gave over 7,000 performances, singing and dancing, playing, acting, doing the whole thing. And then let's see, at I guess it was 1939, I was the graduation from high school. And like I said before that, I was playing, 12 years old, I played with a big band. Everything was music, music. And I did that for 82 years, actually. So then, and when I was 17, in my yearbook, they would say I was going to be in Hollywood. And I graduated high school, 1939, and I said, you know, I think I can't picture myself going to Hollywood. I thought I was too young. I said that I had offers to go to New York and play with a big band. I had offers to go on a boat going from back to Bermuda, back and forth. But I liked it in violin, and I said, what I'll do is I'll just take a job for the summer. And where do you think I went? Ace Glass Company. For the summer. I stayed there 40 years. Well, I learned how to be a glass blower, scientific glass blower, and 3.5 years. And then something happened, and I remember I went into the office, and there was a 6-foot long tube, 4-inch, and the inside had a 3-inch, and inside had a coil. And it was laying there, and I said, what's that? And they said, we have to destroy it. I said, why? They said, the coil inside is broke. Oh, I looked at it and said, I think I could fix it. Oh, you could? Oh, that's $15,000. They said, will you do it? Well, I'm not sure, but I think I could do it. Well, try. So I put it on a bench, and I made a hole in the outside with 4-inch tubing. Then I went to make the hole in the next tubing, but you put the fire in there, it would go out because there's no air. So we had air at our bench. So I hooked up air through the capillary tubes to go through there, and I was able to heat the other and make another hole. So then I put the fire all the way down and where the coil was, and I heated the coil, and I closed it up, and then I closed the next, the 3-inch, then I closed the 4-inch, and I did it. Well, after I did that, I was king. They made me instructor. They said, you don't have to work anymore, just instruct. But I didn't like to do that. I said, look, anybody wants help, I'll help them, but I'm going to still do the work. So I still made everything, I enjoyed it, you know. But I became, how I started, I became fascinated. I went to Ace Glass, and the first job they gave me was washing glass. And they almost got fired because I was always singing. Well, I worked, and it bothered some of those old German people. So I finally went upstairs one day and I saw blown glass. And I was fascinated by it. I said, gee, I'd love to try that, you know. That's how they said, okay, we'll give you a chance to do it. And I said, I might as well stay here because the war was sort of coming on, you know. And I said, I'll have to go to service probably, so I better stay here. and I stayed I worked there, and then a couple of years later, I was supposed to go to the Army. So 5 times I went to the place where they put you to service, and I raised my hand. I said, "You're in the Army." And 5 times I came home, and I was deferred, and I never knew why. And then I found out after the war was over that we were working on the Manhattan Project. I was working on the atomic bomb. So that sort of set things up pretty good, you know.
At H Glass?
What's
At
that?
that glass company, H Glass?
Ace Glass.
That's what you're saying, the atomic bomb? They were doing work on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was working on the atomic bomb.
And you didn't know it?
No, none of us knew it, you know. And when we made the apparatus for whatever the test, because they had all these tests to do before they could, you know, make it functional. And so then let's see, where am I? Okay. Then in 1959, I was asked if I would go to teach. What happened is Ace Glass loaned me out for 1 year to teach scientific glass blowing. For the first time was ever taught in the United States. So I was the first instructor in the United States to teach it. And I was there, and I stayed 1 year. I had 8 students, and boy, they all did very well. But I come back to, I didn't want to stay anymore because my son was in football or everything, and I didn't want to be out. I wanted to see him practice and play and all. So I came back, and I didn't teach anymore until 1979. They called me. They said, "Would you be willing to go back?" They said they did away with the program out there. And they said everybody's sort of mad about it. That was a great thing for them to have, and people from all over the world were coming there. And Dewey had 5 students lined up. And I said, "I've been here 40 years." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll take it." So I went back, and I started changing everything around and putting the course in, sociology course. I put it there, and I stayed, let's say, 22 years. I stayed there, and I taught scientific glass blowing. And then, let's see what else. Oh, now, as far as this, when I started there, I used to make little things like little dogs, and every once in a while I didn't have time, you know, because I was playing music every night and working all day, so I didn't really have a lot of time. But every once in a while I'd make something, and it wasn't until let's see, 19. Well, I'm closing my train of thought. I really got into making all this stuff, but 19, let's see, 2000, I think. Well, I stayed there 22 years, and during that 22 years, it gave me a chance to do some bigger stuff, which I have. See some of the things you'll see over there, pictures of what's downstairs. And although once I started being recognized as the best in the world, and what happened, I went to the college, and this was in 2000. And I only went because they were honoring somebody who used to give us a lot of glass. And this fellow, he said, I'm going to show you the best glass blowers in the world. And he showed Germany, and he showed Japan, and they said, I'm now going to show you the United States, he says. And he showed the United States. As far as I'm concerned, he says, the best glass blower in the world is Joe Luisi. I said, I almost fell off the chair. Man, to hear that, you know. And I said, how do you know? And when I was down, we used to go down and show our glass, the regular glass. And I used to bring my a piece of my glass. And this fellow had seen it, and he's the one that couldn't believe what I had done. So he said, could I come over to your house and see your collection? And he came over, he saw my collection full. And he said, you are the world's best technical glass sculptor. Technical because I had the background of scientific glass blowing. See, these other people that made these different ornaments or anything like that, they didn't have that capability of blowing anything big or blowing anything. It was all made up with solid rod mostly. And that's the way I started out, solid rod, you know, little pieces. But then I kept going bigger, and then when I took a job at the college, then I was able to do more. You know, that's when I started doing some of the bigger stuff, and so that's about where we are now. So what I'll do is I have it all lit downstairs, and I think maybe we could take 3 at a time. And okay, where's Ken?